Hey everybody, Kelly here, the Real Ninja, and today I want to go ahead and revisit a training topic that I've done in the past um, on Remine, Remine. Now, if you're a real estate agent, go ahead and check your MLS login page. When you log in, I want you to go and check and see if you have this icon. Now, in Florida, in my broker or in my MLS, we have Remine Pro. So check and see if you have that, and then verify if it's the Remine Pro. If you do, you have access to a very powerful tool that's going to help you generate leads in several different niche specific categories. So if you're in Florida, which is where I'm at, go ahead and check, because there's a lot of agents that follow me on social media and YouTube who have responded, hey, I didn't know I had it. So go and check if you do. But what I want to do today is a training on Remine and how you can use it to generate specific niche leads. So if you are going to do this, right, make sure that you learn how to save these leads, which I'm going to show you. And then I would also start thinking about how you want to market to them. Having a lead is one thing. Knowing how to market to them, that's where the butter is made. Now, let me preface this by saying I love Remine, but I have other lead generation sources that I use, I pay for, and I do them, that I primarily use. I no longer use Remine as much because I have other sources, and they give me even more specific demographics, and they're also going to give me the ability to break the leads down per niche a lot quicker. But for you, if you have this included in your subscription, this is goldmine. Now, if you don't, Remine charges like $300 a month. Before you pay that, if you don't have it for free, reach out to me below and I'll go ahead and share with you some of the things that I do that are a lot cheaper, that generate fairly significant amount of good targeted leads. Now, without further ado, let's jump in and talk all things Remine. So when you log on, if you have it, you're going to go to your state. Now, guys, let me just back this out. Well, I've got it set to Florida, but my Remine I can use anywhere in the United States, but that's not what I'm training on today. So here's the state of Florida. There it is. I live somewhere over in this area right here, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the map into some type of an area that I want to work in. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the square. Now you can do the octagon, you can draw a circle. I'll do the square, and I'm going to start up here and go there. Now what this did is it's bringing me leads, and in this case, homeowners that live in this area. Remine uses big data, and this is how they collect this information. They are scouring the internet to get this data to bring to me the most viable homeowner type leads possible with their system. And if you'll notice, there's over 300,000 results. Now, we're not going to market to 300,000 people, right? Number one, it's a waste of time. 300,000 people are not going to be dealing with you this year. So don't get frustrated. It's always better to target your niches within the niches, get real specific, right? So concentrate exactly what you're going after. So while I'm not going to show you on today's video how to do everything, in the sense that I'm not going to show you, how to break down all of the niches, but you can pull expireds from here. You can pull move up buyers, move down buyers. You can get real specific with what they call leads that look like they'll sell within the 12 months. They have this little sell score button, and when you click it, it says low, medium, high. Low and medium, these are people that Remine, using big data, says probably aren't going to sell in the next 3 to 5 years. But high, there's a very strong possibility that there's some in that high that will be selling in the next 12 months, right? So without further ado, let's now take this 300,000 and we're going to bring this down to a small list of absentee homeowners. The reason why I'm concentrating on absentee, and remember guys, you can use this for just about any niche, but for absentee homeowners, I want to go after people that I think are more inclined to sell based on the last 2.5 years of what's happened in our country. With COVID, now we've got, gas at $500 a gallon, right? Renters that might not be able to pay their rent. There's a lot of these absentee homeowners that are prime candidates for a realtor to make them an offer they can't refuse. All right, so first thing we're going to do is property value. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate anything that's less than $300,000. Now, I know in this area, guys, I went from 300,000 plus to 150,000. I knocked off half of these. I don't want to work with $50,000, $90,000, anything under $300,000. Now, in California, you're probably going to set it for like $700,000, right? It's going to be specific to your area. Next thing I want to do is home equity. Since these are absentee homeowners, I'd like them to have at least 75K in equity. I mean, why would he want to sell if they don't have enough money to justify the sell? So it's brought it down to 95,000 plus. Now, ownership time. I'm going to go ahead and tell Remine I only want homeowners that have owned that home, or these absentee homeowners, which we haven't even gotten to yet. But these homeowners, I want them to have lived in the home for at least 5 years. And it brought it down to 25,000. Remember, we started with 300,000 plus. Now I'm going to drop all the way down to absentee homeowner. And I'm going to look for, I don't care for corporate or owner occupied, but absentee in-state, absentee out-of-state, and I'm going to apply. Watch what happens to that number. So I went from 300,000 plus in that geo-targeted area to a little under 3,000 results. And guys, these are absentee homeowners. These are people that have an address, but they don't live there. Now, what's great about this list, when you download it, it's actually 6,000 leads, right? Because you have the home address of where the absentee homeowner lives, and then that property that more than likely has a tenant. So if you wanted to start sending your direct mail, if you will, to the actual subject property, there might be a tenant there. You know, dear homeowner, dear tenant. And if you can start sending them information, you might pick up a buyer, right? But today we're talking about concentrating for sellers, and these are absentee homeowners. Now, there is this thing called a sales score. On a list this small, I'm probably not going to get a big result, but let's try. I'm going to hit high probability of selling. Now, with absentee homeowners, you can't always, this isn't rocket science, but let's just see what happens. So it's thinking, and it's going through, literally it's analyzing big data, and it's deciding which of these 3,000 might be based on buying habits, based on sites they're looking at, based on where these leads are going. It's going to tell us how much of a probability these people are going to be selling. Now, this isn't rocket science, but right now, 30 of these people are definitely high probability. So I would probably download these 30 right away and start marketing to them. They will be getting direct mail from me. And more than likely, there's going to be an email address in Remine for a good chunk of these. So maybe a drip email campaign. But what I want to do is get back out of sales score. Let's get rid of that, because I want to show you how you can market to them, because there's going to be more than 30 they're going to want to sell. These are just the highest of the high based on buying signals that Remine's big data has found, and also searches. They could be searching for real estate agents, mortgage lenders, right? These are the types of searches that Remine is looking for to categorize that as a high probability. But what's going to happen, guys, is I'm happy with that list. I'm going to select all, and then I'm simply going to take all 2,900 of these to a cart. And I'm going to call this absentee owner. I'm going to add all these properties to that cart. So what's going on is Remine is now taking all 2,935 of these over to an Excel sheet. And it's going to give me a multiplicity of data points. So then I'm going to go over here to the cart button, and it's going to show up right over here. It'll say absentee owner. Once it does, there it is right there. And there'll be 2,900. So what I'm going to do is take that button or that box and click it, and I'm going to export the list. Now, here's where the magic happens. This is going to now tell me to name it, and I'm going to call this absentee. Now, it's going to ask me what columns I want. I'm going to choose my columns. So I do want property address, owner information, estimated value. Don't care. Well, we'll do sales score. If I would like to know if they're in the MLS. Mailing address, I want that. See if there's anything else I want. absentee status, which they're all going to be absentee. So I can take and either add just this for columns, or I can do everything. And then when I'm done, I simply click export. And now within about 5 minutes, the results will be available for me to download. And now I have a list where I can start segmenting data, and I can take that data and decide what I want to do. So for instance, if I want, I can take the email addresses only of the leads. So let's say that of the 2,900, 1,500 have email addresses. I can download just those, export them to my CRM, and start a long-term nurture for an absentee homeowner drip email campaign. I can also take that list of what I feel is my top prospects, send those over to my direct mail company, and start targeting. Remember that 30 that we said? Well, if I targeted all 30 of those people, it would cost me around $15 a month. I can send them a drip campaign for the next 6 months, 1 card a month for 15 bucks. So if you want to hear more about how I do my email and direct mail, comment below and I'll share with you some strategies on how I'm doing direct mail. I use Chime. So I had KV Core for a long time. Now I have Chime. And if you have Chime and would like some of my email campaigns, just comment below and I'll hook you up. And if you want more information on my direct mail program, just go to closingdomination.com. There's a complete video walkthrough on how to take these leads over to your direct mail and start implementing some drip campaigns. So guys, that's it. This is Remine. And this is how you can basically use this system to grab leads with multiple niches. If I wanted to, I could pull leads in a specific area, which I'm not going to do right now, but let's just say over in this area right here, okay? Right here. Let's say that I want to pull homes between 300,000 and 400,000, okay? I'm going to apply it. There's 40,000 plus. Let's apply it. And then I want homes that have at least 50K in equity. And guys, I'm showing you this on purpose. I'm looking for ownership at least 5+ years. And I think the next will just be single family. So check this out. Right now in this small area between 300,000 and 400,000 people, there's 3,200. So I can create a list to just market a message to 300,000 to 400,000. Then I can go in and pull a list of 400 to 500, and then 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 900 plus. So again, targeting a specific niche. So what you're going to say to a homeowner that's in the $350,000 range, your message to $1 million plus homeowner probably is going to be a little bit different. Again, this is how you segment your audiences and build incredible lead type generations for you to start getting your message to market. All right, that's all. Look, the download's ready. I'm not going to pull it. It's a spreadsheet, guys, and it's going to have first name, last name, address, the address where they live, the subject property. It'll probably have things like credit score, income. It'll tell me some other specific stuff. And then you can start weeding through that list to get to your perfect client. But again, guys, Remine. If you've got Remine and you've got it, but you didn't know it, what an awesome way for you to be able to start generating some potential prospects and marketing to them. And if you don't have Remine and you don't want to pay them $300, just comment below. I'll send you information on some lead gen sources that I use that are extremely inexpensive and yield massive results. Comment below, I'll send it to you, and there we go. All right, guys, this is Real Estate Ninja Kelly with Real Brokerage, and I wish you a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.